Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It is time for Taroscopes. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Taurus. That's Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising for the month of October 2024. Now, at the beginning of the year, I would do the Taroscopes and show you a little astrology using charts and the like. And people really liked it, but it did take a long time for me to do it. So I got pretty busy and I had to stop doing it. It just became too much for the month. But we are in some trying times, some challenging times. We're in the middle of eclipse season as we start October. And we also have the election coming at the beginning of November. So this is really sort of a very deeply emotional, somewhat of a powder keg kind of time. So I thought maybe this would be a good time to bring out the charts again. I will timestamp for the reading, for the tarot reading, so you can go right to that if you want. There is a timestamp below. All right, and I have Charlie on my shoulder because he needs some affection, right, Charlie? You're a good boy. Such a mug. All right, let's do this. Let's do this with the cat on my shoulder. Childless cat lady here, by the way. Okay, October. October starts with a solar eclipse, a partial solar eclipse in the sign of Libra. You can see here the sun in Libra, right near the node. Eclipses can only happen at the nodes. And of course, we also have a full moon in Aries, and I'm going to put you down, baby. We also have a full moon in Aries. That's not close enough to the nodes to be considered an eclipse. So while we do have this full moon here next to the North Node in Aries, it is not an eclipse. We already had the full moon eclipse in Pisces in September. All right, so new moon in the sixth house of service. This is also the house of health. And so it is a new moon. It is a time of beginnings. And so this would be a good time to start some sort of health regime, perhaps a new project at work. But you might have to change your partners with those, if you're doing a project with somebody, there can be a change in partners because of that South Node eclipse. The people that you maybe normally would work with get shifted and changed. We do have two major stations this month. We have Jupiter stationing retrograde. Jupiter is now in Gemini. It's made it up to 22 degrees before it retrogrades back. And it is in your second house. And so Jupiter in the second house can sometimes increase your resources, can increase your resourcefulness. Now that it's going backwards, okay, now that it's going backwards, you might have to relook at a few things, right? Relook at a few things. We also have Pluto stationing, but instead of retrograde, it's stationing direct. It's going to move forward. Whenever these outer planets change directions, we usually see something in the outer world. For Taurus, it's in the house of the higher mind. It's in the house of long distance travel. If you do have to do some long distance travel, just be more careful, especially around the 11th, which is when it stations. It will go back into Aquarius. It will move back into Aquarius in November. And so this is sort of the last little gasp of whatever has to be dealt with as it moves through that last degree of Capricorn. And Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. So this is not a new story for you. It's not a new story for anyone. But Pluto going through that ninth house has been a transformation of your beliefs. What you believed to be true that maybe has shown not to be true. And now how do you navigate that? And how do you apply your new knowledge as Pluto moves into your 10th house of career and public recognition? Mars, the planet of energy, is in your house of mind. It's in your third house. This can be good. It can stimulate the mind. Mars in Cancer is very emotional, however. So you might feel the stimulation of your mind as an emotion initially. It is also the house of siblings. And so if you have any issues with your siblings, like unresolved stuff, it may come up at this time. Now, Mars will be going retrograde at the end of the year and end up back in Cancer, where it spends most of its retrograde period. That's really when things, you're going to have to resolve some things. So things can happen now that will be resolved later, say January, February time period. All right. Uranus still in your first house, of course. It is completely in Taurus this year for you. It does dip its toe into Gemini next year, but then it goes back into Taurus. So you still have that Uranus waking you up to who you truly are, first house. The sun, of course, with that eclipse happens in the sixth house of service, the sixth house of health. You do have to watch your health at this time. Especially, you want to stay balanced through this. It is, sometimes it's difficult. The kidneys rule are ruled by Libra, and so watch for any kind of issues with your kidneys, just to make sure that everything's okay. I just want to mention this just as a thing. One of the, especially if you're older, if you or somebody in your family is older and they happen to be a Taurus, or just this could just be seen whether they're a Taurus or not. But a lot of times, if you have somebody that you elderly that you're taking care of, and they suddenly seem like they're having some sort of dementia, and it's sudden onset. A lot of times it's a UTI, so just be aware of that, and get tested or get them tested. This is not a medical thing, but that is true. So just know that that is true. I'm not diagnosing, I'm just letting you know about the symptoms. Then the sun moves into the seventh house, your relationship house, illuminating relationships, illuminating are they working? Are they not working? Increasing the intimacy. Mercury is there as well. And Venus actually starts the month in there and then moves into the eighth house. These, the seventh and the eighth houses are relationship houses. And when the sun is moving through, when Venus is moving through their relationship becomes more of a focus. Excuse me, my eye is really itchy, probably because I had the cat on me. And I'm not allergic to cats, but he might have rolled in something that I am, ragweed or something that I am allergic to. Sorry about that. And then Venus moves into the house associated with shared resources in Sagittarius. So we can find ourselves being very blunt about our shared resources. But Venus in the seventh house at the beginning of the month really likes being there. So that should be good. And then Mercury starts in the sixth, moves into the seventh. So we're dealing with our health, and then we're dealing with our relationships. Remember, good relationships require good communication. And sometimes Taurus doesn't communicate as well as other signs because sometimes they don't think it's necessary. But with Mercury in that seventh house, it is necessary if you want to have successful relationships to talk it over. All right, I think I said everything I want to say. Let me just check to see Venus. Venus actually on the 13th, Sunday the 13th, actually Venus opposes Uranus. Venus opposite Uranus, Venus being your ruling planet, is a time when you can end a relationship or change a relationship. So be aware of that. It's a natural sort of stopping point, breaking point, or point of awareness. It doesn't mean that you can't continue. It just means that you have an awareness about something. And with Venus and Uranus, it's always about commitment and freedom, commitment and freedom. We also have on the 8th, Venus making a trine to Mars. Venus at that point is in Scorpio. Mars is in Cancer. That's a very intense. Well, trines are lovely. Trines are lovely, but there's a lot of water involved here. And so it's very feeling, very feeling motivated, very passionate. So, mark your calendars, guys, mark your calendars. All right, let's see. Is there anything else I want to say for Taurus? Venus also. Venus is busy this month. Venus makes a sextile to Pluto that opens the line of communication with the soul itself. Very, very good, very lovely. And then Venus moves into Sag. After that, Venus in Sag likes her freedom. Venus in Scorpio likes to get even if she has to, but Venus in Sag likes the freedom. So be nice to each other, guys. Be nice to each other. All right. Well, that's the story. The tarot part of the Taroscope is next. Have yourself a great month, and I'll see you again next month. Namaste. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the tarot cards for the month of October for the sign of Taurus. And I'm going to be using my B tarot, and we'll see what lies ahead for Taurus. Of course, Taurus is, Venus rules sign. And we are in the fall season now. It's sort of the opposite season of Taurus, really. Taurus being a spring sign. Taurus is about growth, right? And we're in the season of harvest. So that's a consideration. It's in a way, it's the opposite end of the year. So all the effort that the Taurus has put in the spring comes to harvest now. Of course, the sun moves into your opposite sign. And so we have a lot of, we're looking at the sun through Libra, working through your 6th house of health. We do have the Libra new moon solar eclipse, although it is partial. It's not total like the one we had in April. And so this is the house of health and service. So you do have to watch your health, watch your stress. And then it moves, and then when the sun moves into Scorpio, it's activating that 7th house, right? So your house of relationship, your house of awareness, actually. So you become aware of something, perhaps the fruits of your labor. Actually. All right, let's see what's up for Taurus in the month of October. We start with the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords. So you're at the point where something has come to an end. There is a complete ending here. Complete ending. Let's see what crosses it. The Victory card. The challenge, I think, for you right now, Taurus, is how do you look at this ending as an ultimate victory for yourself? What this ending really symbolizes is an ability for you to be free of something that perhaps you weren't even aware that you needed to be free of. Let's see what's underneath. The Hanged One. Yeah, the Hanged Man. You need to look at this situation from a different perspective. The way things were before, in a way, prevented you from taking the time and looking at it in the way that you needed to look at it. So this is about connecting with cosmic consciousness. This is about looking at something from a different perspective, understanding that outside things, things that happen on the outside, are not always in your purview to change. Really, your only power is to change yourself. And in this case, it's about a change of perspective. So ultimately, what this is about, the root of the matter, is a change of perspective. In the past, we have the King of Swords. Now, this could either be somebody who, this could be somebody in law enforcement, or this could be a lawyer, somebody within the law, judges and the like. Um, and so being in the past, it means perhaps a judgment has come down. Perhaps you have felt it not to be fair, or maybe it was fair. Certainly, good judgment was necessary in the past. And it is possible that you actually had to put an end to whatever this was. Like you actually had to consciously put an end to this. Let's see what's in the sky. The King of Jars. This is the King of Cups in this deck. This is about having dominion over your feelings. It's about sensitivity, but sensitivities and the strength that brings, the compassion that sensitivity brings. This could also be the card of a therapist, the energy of a therapist. So perhaps you need somebody to help you navigate through this time, help you understand um, what these changes actually mean for you. Let's see, in the immediate future, the Seven of Pentacles. This is a sense of perhaps not, well, let's see, what does the Seven of Pentacles say here? I feel like you're getting something for your money, but not enough. But this is really kind of living within your means. And this doesn't always just mean money. It can mean living within your energetic means. What do you have energy for, and what do you not have energy for? That is the question as you move through this month of October. Where can I cut away some of the extraneous things that are draining me, whether they be financial or they be relational? It's in a way a real appreciation of what you have, not just in terms of resources, but in terms of resourcefulness. How resourceful can you be? How it's seen from outside. Actually, that you're moving away from troubled waters. There's a sense that you're moving away from distress. So I'm not exactly sure how you feel about this loss or this end, but the people around you see it as perhaps a good thing. Let's see your domestic situation. Ooh, the honeymoon. This is choices. This is the Lover's card in this deck. But Lovers is always about choices, the choices that you make. So you will have a choice to make in your domestic situation. The Lover's card is often also can be the beginning of a relationship, or it can be the end of a relationship, right? It's a choice. How it's seen now, hopes and fears. You have some anxiety. Definitely have some anxiety, some nightmares, perhaps. This is stress and anxiety. I know you're not hoping for that. You may not be fearing it, but this can be the anxiety of fear. So I guess I could say the only thing you have to fear is fear itself. All right. Outcome. Ooh, the Eight of Wands. New things coming into your purview here. We see there's these beautiful flowers and the bees. So there's more information, more opportunity, things coming to you very quickly. So the things are going to, and wands are always about creativity. So there's new creative things, new creative ventures coming in your direction. I'm going to pick 3 more cards to see if I can get a major arcana. We have the Prince of Jars here, or the Prince of Cups. So this is somebody who is, it's usually younger. It could be a younger person, or it could be a contemporary. This is somebody who offers you the honeypot, so to speak. Okay. Offerings of love. The Six of Pentacles, this is about balance, and there's a sense of community here. There's a sense of balancing the scales. It is a good money card. If you owe money, you'll be able to pay it. If people owe you, you will get it, right? That kind of thing. All right, let's see one more. Temperance, balance and healing. This is telling you that you have to temper your actions. You have to watch your health. If there's anything that you do too much of, you need to temper that. Do you eat too much? Do you drink too much? Do you work too much? Do you have too much fun? What is too much? Whatever's too much, you have to figure out the middle path, because that's really what the Temperance card speaks of. It's also a card of spiritual initiation. So you're going to be initiating something new. But in order to do that, you have to prepare yourself. You have to temper the vessel. Okay. You have to make sure that you're in a balanced state. And this month you're seeking that balance. Because whatever happened as you start the month, boom, it's right there. So I would say most of the shock of what happened is over. Now you're trying to understand what it is. Let's see what's underneath it here. We have the Ace of Cups, which is happiness. We have death, transformation, and the Hermit. This is about going within for the answers. It's about wisdom. So there's a couple of ways that this could manifest itself. This could be that you had a loss. There could have been a death that you weren't expecting, and you feel lost with that, and you need time to navigate through that, figure out what it means to you, right? Or it could be the sense of, the Ace of Cups is about love, and death is about change. And so it's possible that you've changed your definition of love, or what love means to you, or the importance of love in your life, or what you thought love was once at one point is now something else. And then the Hermit here helps you to discern and look within and do the healing that's necessary, so you can have a better, I think, grasp of what love is. All right, so we're going to pull some oracle cards. Generally, I pick one oracle deck to use, but I think I might use 2 this time. So the first oracle deck I'll be using is the Mystic Sisters Oracle, for those of you who follow the Mystic Sisters on Saturday night, either on my channel, Victoria Scribble, or Ona's channel, Ona's Tarot. You can always meet us there on Friday nights. We get together, we talk about the week that was, and all kinds of things. Sometimes it's political, sometimes it's personal, sometimes it's funny. Well, it's always funny because there's a lot to laugh about. My mom used to say, if you're not laughing, you're crying, so you might as well be laughing. She had a way with words, Angelina did. All right, let's see. Let's pick a Mystic Sister for Taurus. Maka. I think I need to put the light on, more light in here, but I will hold this up and read it. I do read right from the book, actually. So this is a great deck. So if you want to, it's put out by US Games. That's how I got it. I got it right through US Games. And it's based, all the art is from Emily Balovitz, one of my favorite artists. And so this is from Maka. All right. Protection, defender of the home. Maka is the Irish war goddess who is strongly linked to her land. Well, that's very Taurus, isn't it? She's one of the three sister goddesses who could take form of crows or ravens. She would fly over battlefields, taking the souls of the deceased off to the other world in her black wings. Battle drums may be beating when you draw this card. You may feel something or someone valuable to you is under threat, or you are compelled to defend and offer protection. This card deals mainly with securing your family and your home, but it is also about personal psychic space. Take care to be measured in your response, not overly reactionary. Set your boundaries firmly around what is rightfully yours. Beautiful card, Maka. All right, and I'm also going to pick a Tree of Life Oracle card for you. All right, let's do that. I moved where I usually do this into my larger space in my office. And so we have a little bit different background. We have the Tree of Life, and then these are the chakras I did a number of years ago. Just a little change of scenery, as it were. All right, Tree of Life Oracle cards. Let's see what the Tree of Life has to say. Maybe. All right. Tree of Life for Taurus. Tree of Life for Taurus. Oh, there we go. We have Bina, or Bana, understanding. This is the separate or emanation of Saturn. It is associated with the divine feminine, It is the place of the dark night of the soul, and so it's very possible that you have experienced a dark night of the soul, and certainly the cards have indicated that. Okay, let's see what Bina says here. Let me just find the page. Bina. 58. These cards are gorgeous. Plus, there's a lot of good information here. I'll hold it up so you can see it. Here's the goddess herself. Oh, there's ravens again. There's a white raven and a black raven. Interesting. Number 3 on the Tree of Life, Bina is located at the top of the Pillar of Severity, a place that offers her view of the whole tree, where she sits in judgment, not in judgment, but in understanding, seeing all. Saturn is her planet, the planet of form, of control, time, and karma. We all need a bit of quiet time, the space to breathe, to bring some structure to events that may have been chaotic. You are invited to hold yourself in silence now, and to do this within the energetic field of one of the universe's most potent forces, the divine feminine. You may have to call on the strength of your own divine feminine energy, regardless of how you identify, to find the courage to get up and face a responsibility that has you weary, but you will continue to love even in the face of physical, mental, and emotional tenderness. Walk with someone who needs you to be present and be nothing more than that, or seek someone who can do that for you. Your stillness will enable you to detach from your story, to write a new one, and to step into a new world stronger with a greater understanding of your soul and what's next. So that sort of dovetails very well into the reading. All right, Taurus. Well, that's your story for the month of October. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do these every month. And take care of yourself. This is a time when you do need to rest and perhaps figure out a different way of utilizing your energy, not maybe give so much away. Find that balance, find that temperance, and you'll be in good stead. Take care, everyone. Have a great month of October.